Welcome to solving two-step equations. Two-step equations have two steps. Step 1, add or subtract. Step 2, multiply or divide. You might notice that that's the opposite of the order of operations because we're basically undoing what is happening to the variable. So let's jump right into some examples. This is a two-step equation. And so we're going to start by drawing the line of equality coming down from the equal sign. And I would like you to always put a box around the term that contains the variable. The first step is to isolate the box. The second step is to isolate the variable. Okay? So step 1, add or subtract. This is an addition problem. We're going to subtract 3 on both sides because positive 3 and negative 3 are a zero pair. This isolates the box, so we have 15x by itself. 48 minus 3 equals 45. That's the end of step 1. Step 1 fades to the background. Step 2, multiply or divide. This is a multiplication problem, so we'll solve it by dividing both sides by 15, because 15 divided by 15 equals 1, and we have 1x by itself. 45 divided by 15 equals 3, and the equation is solved. So let's check our answer. Going back in the original equation, 15 times blank plus 3 equals 48. We'll try 15 times 3. Okay, now we use the order of operations going forwards. Multiplication comes before addition. 15 times 3 is 45. 45 plus 3 is 48. Check. Okay. Example number 2. T divided by 4 minus 10 equals negative 6. So we begin with the line of equality and put a box around the term with the variable. First thing we want to do is isolate the box. Step 1, add or subtract. We'll add 10 to both sides to get rid of the negative 10, because negative 10 and positive 10 are a zero pair. So we have t divided by 4 equals 4. Okay, positive and a negative subtract, take the sign of the larger. Okay. Step 2, multiply or divide. To undo division, we multiply both sides by 4, because multiplying by 4 and dividing by 4 are inverse operations, so we got t by itself, and 4 times 4 is 16. Let's check our answer. This would be 16 divided by 4 minus 10 equals negative 6. First step, divide. 16 divided by 4 equals 4, and 4 minus 10 equals negative 6. Our answer checks. Why don't you try an example on your own and then check back and see how you did. Okay, we begin with the line of equality and put the box around 9g. Step 1, add or subtract. Let's subtract 11 from both sides. Positive 11 and negative 11 are a zero pair. Therefore, we have 9g equals negative 9. Step 2, multiply or divide. We'll divide both sides by 9 to undo multiplication by 9. So 9 divided by 9 equals 1. That's 1g. And negative 9 divided by positive 9 equals negative 1. Therefore, g equals negative 1. Let's check our answer. 9 times negative 1 plus 11. So 9 times negative 1 is negative 9, and negative 9 plus 11 is 2. It checks. This is the last example. The opposite of a plus 6 equals 8. Let's box out the opposite of a, and we want to remove the plus 6, so we add negative 6 on both sides. Positive 6 and negative 6 are a zero pair, so we get the opposite of a equals 2. Now, if the opposite of a equals 2, we need to find out what a equals. This means negative 1a. Okay, so the opposite of a, or negative a, you could think of that as negative 1a. And we talked about reciprocals recently. The reciprocal of -1 is -1, because -1 times -1 equals +1. So we have +1a, and on the right-hand side, 2 times -1 is -2. Notice that if the opposite of a is 2, then a is -2. So we took the opposite of both sides to get the final answer. So here's a few examples of that, just to finish things off. Write these on the left-hand side of your notes and put the answers on the right. So if the opposite of b equals 7, what's b? b equals -7. If the opposite of c equals -15, then what does c equal? c equals 15. If the opposite of w equals 11, what's w? w equals -11. If the opposite of x equals -3, then x equals 3. If the opposite of y equals -9, then y equals 9. If the opposite of z equals 52, what's z? -52. This will frequently be the last step in a multi-step equation. All right, thanks for your attention.